Craig, it's Friday afternoon. I've been at an auto dealership. I need a few cocktails.
An auto dealership. Now, I know you're not buying a car, so
No,
this sounds like
we had a tire incident, an hour and a half to change the tire. And I'll tell you what, Craig, it's really got me confused. I don't even know what time it is. So I got to ask you, Craig Sullivan, what time is it?
It's time for an audit.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Audit, a show that proves we just don't give a fuck. Craig Sullivan, good to see you. I'm Glenn Hausman. How are you doing this evening, bro?
I'm doing great, Glenn. How about yourself? How's the family?
I'll tell you what.
Tire, they got to be safe, right?
The family's good. Me, not so much, because my kids are getting accepted to all these amazing colleges, and I've got 2 college educations to worry about starting September. So, guys, I gotta apologize to you. I'm gonna be whining about that. I'm gonna be complaining about it. I'm gonna be #GrumpyGlenning about it for quite some time now.
I got an idea on that.
Yep.
Your Patreon page.
Yeah.
Come on, people. Donate to the scholarship fund for the Hausman children.
That's right. I want to send out a shout out, a little bit of love to Kyle Allison, Greg Fragoso, and Tom Groby. So, hey, Hospitality MD, they got this great new documentary coming out. And I know that we're not supposed to talk about it till next week, but, you know.
You are legit taking you are legit literally taking my, hold on, since we're doing this now.
That was a fast hour.
Since we're plugging first, why don't you're taking my plug? I was going to plug Greg and Kyle, but
I'm wearing the T-shirt. I can't not address it the entire show.
I was going to point that out.
But I'm wearing the T-shirt. Should I just sit here and not talk about it, Dave?
Yes, actually, that's exactly what you should have done.
Seriously, man.
Ooh,
I don't know.
You got it from the director-producer.
I don't.
Yeah, well, about that.
Been really weird lately, and this is just another one of those strange things. I don't know what's been going on with you, man.
Well, since Craig wants to point out my director-producer role, which I'm very thankful for, I do have to get serious for a second, unfortunately, because I have some. And obviously, our guest coming up is going to be all the comedy and fun, so we'll get there. But I have some news. I'm sorry to say, and actually, you guys are going to find this out yourselves for the first time because I just found out myself. This will probably be my last episode.
What are you talking about?
What the fuck?
Maybe next week I can do as well. But it looks like I'm going to be getting some assignment shifts and things like that here at work, and I don't necessarily. Like I was getting more responsibilities. So,
what kind of responsibility do you need for this here? Hold on one second. This is unprecedented. Why would you say this now? This is really weird.
I just found didn't I not get off the call?
Well, we just went on air, and now you're telling me you're leaving this show, and I'm trying to say, hold on, I'm trying to do something really nice because
man,
this is unfortunately it's an unprecedented situation where I get a call. And basically say, which is good. I mean, it's good for me. I'm taking on more responsibility. I'm getting more role. It's more things to look over. So it's good for me. But it also just means leaving at 5 o'clock.
What is that role? What is this responsibility that is infringing on?
I mean,
you're gonna make me promote myself, aren't you? You guys know how much I hate promoting myself, and you're gonna make me do it, aren't you?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Breaking news, Dave's an a-hole. What else?
Well, I mean, that's not really breaking news. That's been documented long and historically over the course of this show and many other episodes. But no, so I do have some responsibilities. So being here at 5 o'clock on the dot on Friday. Well, I mean, I'm sure I could pop in and out here and there, but for the most part,
honestly, Dave, you keep saying you're going to make a commitment to this, but I'm getting a lot of.
I think 53 weeks was pretty good. No.
No. I expected at least 56 weeks. I don't understand why.
All right, Mike has figured out what's happening. I've been promoted at the strip club, and I have different hours. I got the good hours now. I'm working the weekends, PM, nighttime, so all the money's coming my way.
Whatever.
But I can't
Whatever,
come in at
dude.
5. Listen, no, but seriously, I hate to say it, but I want to make this show as fun as possible because you're such a fun guest. And
So, great way to make it fun. Hey, Calvin, look how much fun this is. Dave saying,
I know.
This is great.
What's the new job, David?
Well, it's the same. Moving up to the main stage. I'm not promoting myself. It's not going to happen.
You got a bad time slot though, man. If you got to go on stage at 5 p.m.
No, I started at 5. I go to 2. I got the
that's
perfect
a long
hours.
shift.
You know,
they're going to be throwing change.
Honestly, I'm calling bullshit on this. Yeah, if you're getting promoted, you're not working from 5 to 2 anymore. I think something else is going on here. I think there's something a lot more insidious going on here, and I want to get to the bottom of it
let's just have a nice show with Calvin.
No, forget having a nice show. I think something's going on, and you're not being completely honest over here.
I think so too.
Come on, David. You gotta spill the beans. We had Calvin come on to coach you on revenue management. So obviously that's not going to happen now. What else is going on?
Stephanie will spill the beans for all of us because I'm sure I'm not doing it. And also, Calvin, Stephanie says hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, we like Calvin. We're not so fond of you anymore, Dave.
Well, it doesn't matter
because at least I'm here.
Right.
I'll be here.
Listen, Calvin, there's a spot. There's a spot open now for a third person because again. But I'm going to preface that when I can make it, I'm coming back. So
whatever. If you can't make a commitment, then I don't want to do it anymore. I'm just I'm sorry, Dave. I don't.
So
think
I'll just leave. I'll just leave now. Fine.
Fine. Good.
Glenn, should we change his title to former director, producer, now general manager?
No, fuck him right now. You know,
general manager David. Congratulations.
Last day, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm putting my 2 weeks notice, gentlemen. So unfortunately,
you're not giving 2 weeks notice. You just like dropped the bomb.
I was about to say. Yeah, I was about to say that didn't sound like notice at first.
That ain't no fucking 2 week notice. That's I'm out the door now.
But the show, it's whatever. Anyway, let's get on to Calvin. Let's have some good drinks. Let's have some fun times. And
I'm calling your bluff on this. I don't think you're going anywhere. I think this is total bullshit.
Next Friday, you'll find out.
And I think Calvin can still give you a master's class on revenue management today. So,
all right. So, April Fool's, Dave's fucking with us. He's not going anywhere.
But he is now the general manager.
I was trying to let it run to the end of the show at least.
No, I don't want to do that because we got some shit planned, Dave, because you got promoted and we're super excited for you.
Yes, we are.
Thanks for diving me out.
Getting up angry at you is really getting very frustrating, and I couldn't do it any longer because it's so freaking awesome. Dude, I will tell you, I've never seen such a meteoric rise. 1 year ago, this guy was sitting in his boxer shorts at home producing our show at noon. Wouldn't even put on pants.
You think I was wearing that much?
I had the decency to put on sweatpants, not you, Dave. So and now, all of a sudden, by sheer not quitting and everyone above him quitting and giving up and running away, you have made it. You have outwitted, you have outlasted, you have outplayed the rest, and you are now GM over at the
round of applause, Glenn.
Oh wait.
That's actually
more super excited for you, man.
First of all, I want to say hashtag sellout Stephanie for literally calling out my April Fool's joke the second I started. So thank you to her for really being a great supporter of mine, as usual. Always has my back, has never, ever failed to let me down.
All right, so this is the first time 54 episodes, correct? We didn't do an official introduction. So how about we kick Calvin out of the room and you give him a proper introduction there? What do you think about that?
I think we're good to go with that.
All right, Calvin, stay tuned. Who's our guest today, Craig Sullivan?
The one, the only, the master of revenue, the host of the G-Spot.
Oh, gosh.
The host of a lot of other social media shows.
Right.
Our friend, Calvin Shaliki, who is now living in California. Calvin.
Yes.
Apparently for now. That may be short-lived from a rumor that I hear on the street.
Hey, he's coming up on a year. So after that,
about a year.
He's locked in.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Calvin. So great to see you.
Thank you.
So you're the man, the meme, the legend here in our hospitality industry over there. And
thank you.
I think the best way to show people what you do is Dave.
Sorry, something happened.
Listen, man, you got a sexy chin.
It's like we
all agree.
Blair Witch Project over here.
Yeah. So I think the best way for all of us to appreciate Dave is we got Calvin on the case. We got a couple of Dave's GM memes. Let's start it off right now. Boom.
Good luck with that, Playboy.
Did you put this together? Or you get promoted to GM. What is a weekend?
Actually, that's actually being a revenue manager in New York City. You can't. There's no weekends off.
Right.
Also true.
All right, number 2 of 3, we've got getting promoted to GM. Dave looking at memes all day.
But as Anthony Melchiori, our good friend, always says, the GM is the least important person in the building, and I have a great team. A great team. So when they're doing their stuff,
Yep. And our last meme.
This is the best one. This is the best one. You gotta love that.
Who had Calvin do these, first of all?
I know. I mean, it just kind of happened.
Hope you don't
Calvin,
like
you're
sleep.
supposed to be my friend, Calvin. You don't know these people. You know me first, okay?
That is true. So
the fact that you're just doing me dirty in your little Hawaiian shirt, like you live out in Hawaii or something.
Hey, I'm a lot closer to Hawaii than you are.
You go to somewhere you go to New York, or you leave New York, the cold weather. You think, oh, you're whole fashion Hawaii now. So you might as well just take that Yankees hat off too, because you don't deserve to wear it.
Hey, 1 second. I want to say, hey, Mike, hope you had a great birthday this week. Happy birthday.
No, happy birthday, Mike.
Yeah.
It is not good, Stephanie. You are lying, and she also knows how much I hate making a big deal of things. So I'm just gonna. But
I am actually somebody that hates that April Fool's stuff.
Is that why you just destroyed my April Fool's joke? Then why'd you put April Fool's Glenn as your name originally?
I was originally gonna do Ain't No Fool
because I completely forgot about it until you did that. So
well,
it's really your fault.
My fault. Oh, what are you gonna do, Cal? I'm glad you joined us today. I'm sure you're not feeling the same way.
No, are you kidding? I've been looking forward to taking this drink at 2 p.m.
Oh well, hold on.
Whoa, yeah, wait a minute.
All right, now you can take the drink.
That just shows that Calvin doesn't actually watch our show. Thanks, Calvin.
Yeah.
What is that drink, Calvin?
It's 2 o'clock on Friday. He's too busy sleeping. You know,
that's an old fashioned with Hudson Valley's best Hill Rock bourbon. So,
did you bring that with you, or did you buy that at a local California place?
That is imported from the great state of New York.
That's nice. Where'd you had someone send it to you, or did you bring it with yourself?
No, yeah, this one came on the truck with all the rest of the stuff when we moved.
There you go.
That's pretty impressive.
You've been out here for almost a year now.
Almost a year.
Tell Glenn and Last Day Dave what your opinion is of California bagels and Kaiser rolls.
Oh, good. I had a recommendation from a friend of mine when I was moving out here, a place called Brooklyn Bagel.
Don't do it.
No, she said, I want to get your opinion about Brooklyn Bagel. And turns out it's like a block from me. Right. So I walked there one day. I tried it. I didn't finish it.
Oh,
absolutely terrible.
Absolutely terrible. So
I think next week for next week's show, I'm gonna have a bagel on air, just to make you guys jealous.
At 5 p.m.
Go for it. You're not gonna make me jealous.
Oh, you're not. You, Glenn, but Craig and Calvin. And then I'm gonna chase it down with a hot dog with ketchup.
Would you all like me to? Calvin, I got a story. Have I got a story for you?
You're also blurry.
I know. I walked into a deli yesterday, and I said, "Well, I'd like a bacon egg on a roll." They made it for me, and I ate it, and it was delicious. Calvin, bet you missed it.
I do.
What did you have for lunch today?
Me?
No, Glenn.
No, during my situation at the car dealership, since I had so long to wait, I had a choice. All right, you tell me what you would have done. All right, I had to go eat. I was starving. I got to eat before Friday night audit. You got to get up your energy for all of this great humor that we have
Right
here. Right? No, I mean, seriously, can't be this funny on an empty stomach. So we had the McDonald's, we had a Dairy Queen, and a Wendy's. Which one would you choose?
Say it again. Dairy Queen, Wendy's, and what?
Mickey D's.
Yeah. You know how my mom is calling me, who knows that I have a show every night at.
Say hi for us. Put her on the air.
Put her on the show.
Wendy's, Dairy Queen, McDonald's. Those are my three choices.
I know where you went. I know where you went, so I won't cinch down. But I would go probably to not probably. I would go to McDonald's.
Yeah. What about you, Calvin?
Wendy's.
Yeah, Craig.
Arby's.
That's not a choice, Craig. I would go to In-N-Out, but then
I would have gone to Dairy Queen.
Well, basically, I know where you went, and you went to Wendy's, which is the equivalent of In-N-Out Burger. So really, it's kind of the same thing.
Nah. Wendy's way better In-N-Out.
There's no way that's the equivalent of anything.
Wendy's definitely better than In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. In-N-Out is trash.
It really is. It's awful. I hate it. I'm not even kidding. I don't like In-N-Out.
I think you guys are ridiculous. That's insane.
It is the most overrated fast food burger in the country.
All right, Barney Greengrass. Barney Greengrass, great breakfast place. It looks like. Ooh, that looks really good.
So, Calvin, are you a Five Guys burger person?
Five Guys is better. I like Umami Burger out here.
I do not. I had it once at the then SLR in Vegas, which is now back to being Sahara. Right, and I think the Umami Burger is still there, or maybe it's not. I don't know. I thought it was just I wasn't wowed by it.
That's how I felt about In-N-Out.
So as Mike McManus feels the same way.
Honestly, In-N-Out is honestly. I was super excited to have it. I've had it twice. Once in Vegas, once in LA. It was the worst. I would not.
Did you have the In-N-Out Burger in Vegas on your way to the airport on a Saturday night at 10 o'clock?
No, I had it actually at 10 in the morning coming off a all-night bender. But
and it was still trash. So that should tell you because everything tastes good in that situation.
It was still terrible. But I will say our good friend Steven from the Wayfarer Hotel, who was on about a while back, told me about the Habit Burger. And he was saying when we were out at Click, that we need to go check it out, and I didn't get a chance to get there. But I am so excited to report that they are building one in Jersey, right across the street from Chick-fil-A, which is also right across the street from Smash Burger, which is right up the road from Five Guys. It is literally the golden triangle of fast food. Oh, and there's also a Stickies. There's also a Stickies there too. So the golden triangle.
If they're across the street from each other in Jersey, all you got to do is drive 10 miles to the U-turn and come back.
No, see, that's not true. That's not true. What you do is you get out of your you park, get out of your car, and just play Frogger across the highway.
Frogger, there you go. That's a good reference.
All right, hold on, Mike McManus. White Castle, that's my favorite. Love myself some White Castle. Last time I had White Castle was in Vegas, as a matter of fact. They opened one up at the they opened one up down there at I think it's where the Best Western Hotel is on the Strip. You know what I'm talking about? I'm forgetting which casino what they call that one is. That I'm really happy about.
Yes, you do need to move to the Triangle. I've been saying move up to the Northeast area. You don't want to do it. Can't help you there. Enjoy your Atlanta food. Anyway,
hey, Calvin.
Oh, by the way, I had some Russ's fried chicken in Atlanta last week, so thank you very much. That was very satisfying and delicious.
I will say Atlanta though did give us Chick-fil-A, and I am very thankful for that. So, thank you, Atlanta.
What was that, Craig? Have I tried what?
Have you tried Tommy's yet?
Don't know what that is.
Tommy's is a hamburger stand. Downtown LA was the first one. Best chili cheeseburger in LA.
Yes, it is, Craig. Right. Yes, it is. Craig, have you been to Ralph's Donut Shop in California? This was a big talk of the town down out at Click.
Oh,
Randy's.
Sorry, Randy's.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's Ralph's brother.
And how come there was
it's in the donut hole up on
why were there no Randy sponsored donuts at Click? I think that honestly torpedoed the entire event now.
They just came into Orange County this year. It's only been the one location in LA, up by LAX.
I think we should I think I need Artie to send me another survey that I can refill out and say this entire thing was as bad as In-N-Out Burger because there was no Randy's donuts.
Yeah. Right, hold on. Stephanie says she's getting fried chicken tonight. She's excited. I got my fried chicken in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, Gus's Fried Chicken. It's a It's a brand out of Memphis. I like it a lot. It's got a little spice to it. Not Nashville hot chicken, but it's really good quality fried chicken with a little kick to it. So but it's in downtown, so that's not really appealing.
Calvin, have you been to Pinky's yet?
I don't know what that is either.
That's hot dogs.
So here's the thing about Calvin. Here's the thing about Calvin. I'm going to just kind of do it all New Yorkers because I honestly do the same thing in Jersey, and I lived in Jersey for 15, 16 years now. We basically, when we leave New York area, we literally just kind of go to where we live, know a few things around that local area, and then nothing else. Mm-hmm. So people come to me about, oh, I live in Jersey. Where do you live? I'm like, I live in Scotch Plains. Like, oh, I live in so-and-so town. And I'm like, where's that? And I'm like, oh, it's 10 minutes away from Scotch Plains. I'm like, oh, never heard of it because I honestly couldn't care less.
Do you feel like a prisoner, David?
What's that?
Do you feel like a prisoner?
No, I know where I need to go. I basically go to Atlantic City, Elizabeth, Newark, my hometown, Union, and then New York City. That's really all I got to go to.
Well, wait a minute. What about going to Glenn's? Smokehouse.
That's on Long Island.
Club and
but that's not in Jersey.
Smokehouse and strip club.
No, it's look. Nobody can get it right. It's a very simple name: Houseman Resort, Pool Club, Smokehouse, and Dispensary.
And the dispensary was only added recently.
You added it.
I added it. Yeah.
If I can finally get my act together to start brewing this beer, then it's going to really be a problem because I got a whole brew kit here that I'm doing.
There you go. That sounds like a party at Glenn's house. Right? Now, I think congratulations should go out to New Mexico. They became the 19th state to legalize recreational use of marijuana.
That's such old news. How about what is it? Is it Oregon that legalized magic mushrooms?
No way.
Yeah, so I saw this whole thing about it now that they're trying to figure out which types of mushrooms are going to be legal because I guess there's some type of mushroom that grows on a tree and it gives you like paralysis.
Well, everything grows on a tree in Oregon.
Legal.
So I guess they're trying to figure out like which ones are going to be legal and which ones aren't, but I'm not sure how you really police that. But yeah, guys, if you want to go and get psychedelic on some shrooms, head out to Oregon and have a good time.
I know
this is what your ancestors died for.
Our friend Chris is going to Bend, Oregon on a vacation this summer. I'll explain. I'll tell him that. So
that's funny, Glenn.
So what do we bring Calvin on for? Because I'm sure we had a better idea than talking about food places all day. Like, is there a reason that we brought
revenue
Calvin
management?
on? Talk about revenue management? Yeah. So let me tell you guys, now there's nothing more exciting on a Friday night at 5:23 than me and Calvin talking about Excel sheets. So let's get right into Stephanie, feel free to join this conversation because you can step right in too. But let's have a nice conversation. Calvin, let's talk about some pacing, right?
Yeah.
I definitely want to hear we're crossing over into April, so you have to get your 30, 60, 90-day forecasts in to your GMs. I'm sure that's gone really well. So tell me what you're seeing.
This is going to be comedy gold right here, guys.
Yeah. So tell me, tell me about
David's got to send a report to himself.
What is your wholesale production going into April looking like?
I actually don't have any wholesale at the properties I manage.
Wow.
Yeah. We just had a conversation about shutting off OTA altogether for the month of April. So that should be a fun experiment.
Let's do it. I mean, I'm in. What's that?
How did you arrive at that decision to even try that?
It wasn't my decision. It's coming from the property, but basically they want to give it a try to see, to obviously minimize commissions spent as well as to see if we can just push everything direct, which is typically the goal. But is that going to work? Are we going to go from 72% last year to like 40% this year?
You never know until you don't try.
Yeah. I'm more of a consultant in my current role, so my job is to just present data.
For
and
all
then
those
they make
people
decisions.
out there looking for revenue managers, Calvin's making that disclaimer now. Don't write them off because of this conversation.
I'll give you advice, but I'm not.
I see what you're doing.
For the results.
Yeah, my job is to say, "Are you sure? Here are the numbers." They want to do it, we do it, and then I analyze the results, and then we'll have this conversation in May, and see what happened.
Here's the real question: what was your forecast accuracy for March?
Ooh, I don't have the percentage, but I missed one hotel by $168, so that was pretty good. The other one by about 6,000. So I'd say between now when we're talking, I'm probably between a 99 97%.
You're talking six figures. That's not a big range to be $6,000 off. It's really not awful.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, that's actually a pretty good range. Stephanie's forecast accuracy is about 12%. So,
that's 1% per month. That's not bad at all.
I can't believe you would insult one of our best guests ever, who's going to be making a return appearance with the infamous Pegatini, and you're setting up the stage for war and anger here. I don't know.
Setting up the stage for war and anger for many months.
Oh, but this is his last show. True. He doesn't care, Glenn.
All right, hey Dave. I was like, could you put up Daniel's comment, Dave? Calvin, what was your favorite Chris Rock, Will Smith you've seen so far?
So many good ones. But I've been dying all week. Honestly, I live for this type of stuff. Man, somebody said I wasn't watching the Oscars at all. Somebody sent me the video, and they were like, "I can't wait to see what you do with this." And I saw that message before I opened the video. I'm like, "What the fuck are you?" I was like, "This can't be real." And I put my personal feelings about this thing aside, and I fired off like 5 memes real quick. But I think my favorite one was somebody did. There's a clip of Friends, and it's I think Ross and Chandler. They're both having a drink, and they said this was Will and Jada's reaction, to the slap, and they both have a drink, and Ross is like, this is pretty good. And Chandler's like, oh God, disgusting. And then when he looks over, he's like, yo, yeah, this is disgusting. Because that's exactly what Will Smith did. Jada laughed at the joke at first. Right. Then Jada said, so he's like, okay, now I gotta go slap somebody. I think that was my favorite. But I had a pretty good week with these. When something like that falls in your lap, you just
it's definitely comedy gold right there, right?
Yeah. I fired off a whole bunch of them.
Well, great job, guys. That dead air just spectacular.
I was waiting to see if you would speak, Dave, because you're neither your GM, you're the man in charge. So
listen, I've been directing, producing this show for much longer than this hotel, and for No Vacancy Live, much longer than that. So I think I know what I'm doing around the street yard.
I've seen the quality of this program. I don't think you have.
Whoa. We're getting some physical violence here, guys.
I know.
First of all, let's just remember everything. First of all, Calvin, where's that Blue Yeti? It's a Blue Yeti still, right?
That's correct.
Who gave you the Blue Yeti idea?
You did.
Thank you. Glenn, who was the first time we brought Calvin on for a Fun Friday, whatever the hell we called it?
What do we call it?
Fantastic Friday, when we were doing that for No Vacancy Live.
Oh, yeah. Feel Good Friday.
Feel Good Friday. Who brought Calvin in last minute because we had a guest cancel a day off?
Was it Craig?
Just say you did. Craig.
You did, Dave.
Who brought Craig on the show today?
Who brought Craig on the show?
I mean, who brought Calvin on the show today?
I thought Craig did.
So without me, none of y'all are here.
Dave, I want to thank you personally for my entire career. I really
don't forget, Calvin. I used to edit and Calvin's podcast too.
Yeah,
a while back.
That is correct.
Used to do editing and stuff for me with video.
Yeah, but you guys paid about the same. So actually, no, Calvin paid me much better than you do.
Yeah, well, nobody can do.
Now you're telling me.
Apparently,
not saying a word. Not a word.
So I had to go out and pay the bills. So I couldn't do the editing anymore.
Yeah.
So, David, are you having a shirt or a jacket made that says "I'm the GM" now?
No, I'm just gonna go wear around. Just wear my Grumpy Glenn t-shirt because now I can, because no one can tell me not to. And of course, if you want to get your Grumpy Glenn merchandise or anything else the No Vacancy store has, including my face on a shower curtain, where can you go?
Red Bubble.
Awful.
What?
That was closest we've ever gotten it, but
it was amazing. Listen, the crowd loved
you a countdown, man.
Freaking love it, man. Yeah.
Amy says she loves the painting behind you, Craig.
Daniel, I think, thinks our timing was fire right there. Hell yeah.
OBJ, is that?
And Amy, I'm returning your hello. I just saw the comment. Hello. Good to see you again.
I didn't even see the comment, so there you go. See, producing skills on fire right now. This is actually Daniel about my producing skills.
So I love the hospitality MD guys, but they've got their pineapple's green is the same color as my wall. So now it looks like I got like a bullet hole going through here.
Just got shot right to the chest. But that's dedication, folks. Glenn took a shot to the chest, and he's still here.
Yeah.
So, Calvin, what brought you on the show today? Why did you want to ruin your career in this spectacular fashion?
I was bribed with alcohol, and it doesn't take much. They said, "Hey."
Unfortunately, he didn't realize it was his own alcohol he'd be drinking.
I don't care whose alcohol it is, as long as I get to drink. I'm in. I get to drink. I get to run my mouth about nonsense. Sign me up any day of the week.
So the cool thing about knowing Calvin personally is that obviously he's very influential in the industry. And there have been times I've been passive aggressively bitchy to people through Calvin.
Not you, David.
And know that people that follow Calvin's Instagram, that I've actually sent Calvin memes and said, "Hey, post this for me and tag them."
That's a lot of fun. I live for that type of shit. I love it.
So, Calvin, have you done that and tagged Grumpy Glenn?
No, we haven't. We haven't used Glenn as a topic yet, but we put in some covert hashtags.
Yeah, you can
in some memes.
But how come we haven't seen a meme or a post about Glenn? You know, Glenn's got such a postable face. You can make there's so many jokes you can make about that face.
Not a one. Not a one.
How much time we got left in the show? About half hour?
Half hour.
See what I can do.
See, he's on the job already. Now you guys are seeing behind the scenes,
Dave,
into the mind of a comedy genius, how he's going to be able to do the show and create a funny post about Glenn. See, Mike says Grumpy Glenn is a meme waiting to happen.
Especially probably a Grumpy Glenn post about how I spell my name, because I get very grumpy.
Oh, there you go.
Just make sure. Listen, guys, it's very simple. Two ends in Glenn, two ends in Houseman, and that's it. Just make sure that one of those ends is capital. Okay, it's Glenn House.
One end in Houseman.
It's two N's, two S's, and then two N's in the name. And if you do that, Glenn will be your best friend.
S's.
If you put two N's in Glenn's last name, he'll sign a copy of the adapters and actually send it to you. That's how happy he is.
And I will totally do that. So I'm on that right now. I've been He's personally victimized by Dave through Calvin's Instagram meme.
That's true. That is actually very true.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
Mike, thank you very much. Houseman, got it. Thank you. Housseman, which is actually how the family in Dirty Dancing spelled their last name. Just in case.
And isn't Dirty Dancing made in the Catskills or based on the Catskills?
It is.
And you were born are you to travel to the Catskills, right?
I did. As required by law, maybe in the Talmud or something like that. Jews are forced to go to those resorts in the 80s and earlier up in the Catskills.
So maybe, just maybe, you have some kind of relation to Dirty Dancing.
Well, it's the same last name. I mean, Baby's last name was Houseman, and you can't put Baby in a corner. Neither can you put me in a corner.
Actually, it looks like you're kind of in a top left corner right now.
So I will tell you, though, that whole Catskills culture is a real thing, particularly with the Jewish community. My grandparents, they lived in Brooklyn, and they were first-generation immigrants, but they managed to get together enough money. I guess the world's a little different now. Not only did they have their apartment, but they would rent a bungalow up in the Catskills over the summer. So we would go there. And then back when my dad was like a kid, they would totally do exactly that Dirty Dancing thing in like the 1950s and stuff like that.
So you're telling me that you guys never stayed at the Resorts World Catskills?
Resorts World Catskills is what, 4 years old? So no.
Didn't you say that? In all seriousness, didn't you say that you used to stay at the resort that was there before that? What was it called?
Yeah, I stayed at the Concord.
Concord.
We stayed there. We stayed at Kutcher's. We stayed at all. We were at a bunch of them, and let me tell you, they were old, decrepit. The food was horrific, and they were all praying for gambling legalization because they were hanging on by a thread for decades. Like every billboard on the highways was casinos mean jobs. It was insane. And then by the time they finally got to legalizing casinos, all those people were screwed, and the other corporations came in. It was really really unfortunate for those people.
Did you guys almost die on your drive through the Catskills?
Actually, once, yes.
I heard about this.
I was sleeping. I was sleeping in the backseat of the car. I must have been like 12 or head up to one of those resorts. My mom was driving. It was a 1970s era Gold Duster. She hit an ice patch and the car went spinning around and around and around. And, we hit the side of the road or something like that, like a mountain. Thank God we didn't go the other way because I think we would have fallen off the cliff or something like that.
That's crazy.
Daniel, Glenn, give me a really good April Fool's joke.
Creative. I never like that kind of stuff. It always feels weird to me. Like I felt uncomfortable doing that whole thing. But let's see. What would be a good April Fool's joke to do to your wife? It has to be kind of fun. Can't be too mean-spirited because you don't want to get in trouble and have to pay for it for the next 30 years,
Oh, the parents.
I saw one recently.
You have a brand new diamond necklace in your back pocket to give to her to make up for that practical joke.
Oh yeah, totally.
There is an exception.
Yeah,
and it better be in a blue box,
right?
Yeah.
All right. While we're thinking of that, yes, Hausman redesigned Paris. Also, was the inspiration, I believe, for Washington D.C.'s streets as well. It's really funny. My parents went to Paris once, and people are like, "Oh, Hausman, are you related to that guy?" So that was pretty funny.
That's pretty cool. So I actually saw a meme recently where this would be a decent April Fool's joke. All right, so it's not too mean spirited. Likely will get you in a little bit of trouble, but nothing a good In-N-Out burger couldn't fix.
Okay, good. What if you live in an area without In-N-Out burger? You're pretty fucked then, huh?
Well, given that every other fast food burger is better, you're already coming out ahead.
Man. Here goes that sponsorship deal, Glenn.
Right, yeah. Wow.
They're like, don't bring that guy on again.
All right, so go on. Let's see what this meme. Let's hear about this meme.
Yeah, so I saw this meme a couple weeks ago, and this guy goes to his wife and he says, "Hey, baby, why don't you get dressed up real nice? I'm going to take you somewhere expensive." So she gets all dolled up. He drives her off, pulls into a gas station. And he says, "Well," she's like, "I thought you were taking me someplace expensive." And he says, "Gas is $3.35 a gallon." And she didn't find it funny at all. I thought it was really cute because gas is like $7 a gallon here.
Right.
I'm like, that's a cheap date.
Oh,
I thought we were in a good place, and then all of a sudden they put it back.
Well, April Fools. What are we talking about? I'm sure nothing
Dr.
important.
Professor Suzanne says she woke up her son John and told him he slept all weekend. It was Monday.
I like that.
Oh, that's good.
Did you guys ever see the one where this was during COVID that the dad made the kids get dressed up for school, go out, stand by the bus, and no? Okay, I don't know if YouTube's gonna ding us for this or not, but I'm gonna take a shot.
YouTube will ding us. I don't want to get into another fight.
It's not music. It's not music though.
I don't care. I'm scared.
Let me see if I can find it not on YouTube, but basically his dad.
He's gonna find it on CBS, Glenn.
What's that?
Yeah.
He's gonna find it on CBS. That's gonna be even worse.
Great.
Let me see.
While Dave's creating dead air, Suzanne is saying, back in the day, some kid put flyers on the windows of cars at the A&S parking lot to call my house for money for taking a survey. I couldn't figure out why my phone was ringing so much.
That's awesome.
Hey, Dave's too young probably to remember A&S, but I know it.
There's a A&S pork store in Westchester, New York, which is tremendous.
I believe she's referring to the not supermarket, to the big store, such like Macy's. It's one of those.
I've never heard of that before.
Department store.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah.
But all right, I can't find it.
Abraham and Strauss, the two guys that started. It was very big back in the 70s, Dave. He really, when I was a kid, I made it a business to know everything that happened in the 50s and 60s. You should really figure out what happened in the 70s and 80s, Dave. It would be very helpful. to you?
What do you know about Caldor?
Glenn, you lost him there.
I remember Caldor.
What do you know about Coconut's music?
I never heard of that.
About
FYE?
Sam
FYE?
I know FYE.
So
about Sam
Coconut's
Goody?
turned into FYE.
What's that?
Sam Goody?
Heard of it. Couldn't tell you
Crazy
what it is.
Eddie?
Nope, no clue.
The prices
What
are
are you talking
insane.
about? How that? Yeah, how did you not know that?
Yeah,
That's
how do you
insane.
not know about Crazy Eddie?
Nobody
Yeah, that
beats
one.
the Wiz.
I know the
Nobody.
Wiz because the Wiz was they sponsored a lot of Yankees games. So when I would go to the Yankees games, they would be
I
there.
really
So I know
thought
the
he was
Wiz
going to
very
say
well.
Michael Jackson.
But I've never actually
I
been
really
into a
did.
Wiz. So I don't know about that. But
It was like a Radio Shack. You know Radio Shack?
yeah, of course. I'm not that young. Radio Shack died like 10 years ago, not even that long ago.
I'm just checking.
Yeah,
Listen,
but you
guys,
probably
just
only knew where they like sold just phones and stuff like that. Not when they sold all the really cool stuff.
It's not my fault that you guys are like 90 years old each. Like, let me enjoy my youth. I'll be one day cranky and old like you guys too. But right now, let me enjoy being a young 34. Okay.
No.
Cranky as
You're not. You
Yeah.
just became a GM. You're not enjoying any more of your youth. But
Yeah,
this is it.
your youth
This
is
is
gone.
Look, all the gray hair has already just hit. Mike McManus sent an April Fool's Day
start right
past
there
due
in the
invoice
beard.
to a client today. Consulting fee pre-lien notice. They still haven't figured it out. I'm sure there's a lawyer out there that thinks that's very funny, but Mike.
I think
Glenn, check your
producer
LinkedIn
Suzanne needs to
inbox.
get a
Check my
screenshot of
LinkedIn
this. Glenn,
What's that?
I think producer Suzanne needs to get a screenshot of this, and then in about a week and a half, we'll bring this up, and you'll see that David's chin is all gray for being a GM.
Yeah, right. You've got like that. Let's track it like a presidential administration or something.
Should. Yeah,
Like
you
that.
absolutely
How
should.
quick are you gonna go gray?
But you see, I'm also married with 2 young kids, so I mean, there's really not much more stress I could possibly have.
That's the best part of your life.
Yeah, well, it's very stressful.
GM things.
All right, so we've got a
We've
new meme here. All right, there we go.
See, and it took Calvin 10 minutes. He asked at 5:32.
Very good,
what
Calvin.
time
Very good.
he should do that, and it's 5:42. And he figured that. It just comes. So Calvin, tell us how does it come so quickly to you like that? The creativity, the comedy.
Good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I always say creativity and silliness kind of meets where I am. I've always had a good sense of humor.
That's your Jamie dealer's creativity and silliness. Interesting.
Yeah.
But you're saying your creativity and silliness is kind of where you are, and yet you went into revenue management. So how'd that happen?
That's also a great question. I think a lot of what I am and what I do doesn't really fit in stereotypical revenue management. But I've always leaned more to the creative side of revenue as opposed to just strictly data and analysis. And if I had learned it that way, I wouldn't have pursued it. But I worked with a person who taught it to me, and she said, revenue is like putting together a puzzle, and that immediately piqued my interest. And so it piqued the analytical, strategic part of things. And because I was with her, because I actually worked. The first person I worked with, the first dorm I worked for, was an absolute miserable bastard. And I remember saying I would never.
That's like me working for Glenn, so it's fine.
No, this guy was always stressed out. He was always upset. And I said that's the one job I would never do in a hotel. That was my very first job out of college. And then I tried some different things. I worked for Gordon Ramsay for a while. I did the F&B side of this business, ran right back to hotels. And that dorm that I worked with, she was more of a teacher, and she taught it to me that way. And I said, you know what, that really piques my interest, because I'm not really just strictly math guy. I'm more of the creativity part of things, which is kind of how I ended up doing what I do.
I didn't think you were going to put that on.
I was going to put that on. Listen, all right, I'm going to tell you how guys did. So Stephanie worked for me for what, 3-4 months?
That's all she could take.
And immediately transferred to a different hotel. Like literally.
Wow, that says it all right there.
So, yeah. But
Calvin, how are you at gaming? Do you win most of your bets, or do you lose most of them?
I do okay. I
I
mostly
don't know.
do.
Revenue
Based on
per
Hawaiian
stall
shirt, I feel like
doesn't
the
do
casino throwing all his
really
money away
well
casino
with
side.
gaming.
Hey guys, I need
Yeah.
a beer. Be right back.
Calvin's the guy at the keno board with the Hawaiian shirt till 6 a.m. Trying to get that last number to come through.
You got that right. You got that right. No, I'm definitely pretty addictive when it comes to that type of stuff. So I'm glad there's no online gaming here in California, at least not that I know of.
Oh, it's
Not
gonna
yet.
come. It'll be
coming.
there.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, that's gonna get me in trouble. Like, listen, I'll put it this way. I got into fantasy football about 4 years ago. Changed my life. I'm like, how did I not do this forever? Because like that, basically, for a revenue manager, for somebody who's into data and trends and tracking things, it's like watching, like you set your lineup and it's like watching the star report come
It's
together on
golden
Sunday.
time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you see what you're doing and you see what your comp set's doing. You see the people
Right.
you're playing against, what they're doing. I literally watch every single game now of NFL because of fantasy football. It's a high. And thank God the season ends at some point so I could take a break, because my wife had to talk to me this past year during season. She was like, "You cannot bring your phone or laptop to every meal. We need a break." I'm watching every game. I'm watching like the Browns versus the Bengals.
Was your RGI over 100 in the fantasy league?
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, this fantasy league, I started out like 2-7, right? And it's my barbershop here in LA. These guys were busting my chops and everything. The owner is the one who runs the league. He's busting my chops all season. And I said, don't worry, because I could tell the reason why I wasn't winning. It was just I kept going up against people that had ridiculous games. Like a guy would have 30, 40 points. The way, and again, I'm just looking at this mathematically, looking at the trends. I'm outperforming most teams in the league. I just happened to go up against guys that were having like record days. I said, you know what? I'm not changing my lineup. I'm not trading. I'm going to stick with what I'm doing. I made it to third place and I missed out on the final by 1.2 points.
Wow.
So I was this close to making the final.
Well, let me tell you, Calvin, I won my league this year. Thank you very much. So,
hey.
Yeah, word. Daniel says I would be one of the best teams in the world. Thank you, Daniel. I actually really appreciate
April
that.
Fools.
All jokes aside, I really appreciate that. Stephanie says Calvin needs to come visit my hotel in Chicago. He's welcome whenever he wants to come. There you go.
That's
Good old
what
web.
Chicago.
he's not welcome.
So,
Chicago.
so yeah,
I'm there.
what's the rate going to be? Because
That's
she's
a
the
comp.
revenue manager. It better not be a comp. She's the dorm. Can't be giving out comps as the dorm.
Listen. It's all about the marketing. You get coverage. I got 21,000 followers, all organic.
Hey, she gets
multiple platforms.
Or two.
Yeah.
Calvin gets a free night or two. It's all good.
Calvin,
I'm down with that. We do a nice meet and greet. Do a Chicago meetup. I got some peoples out there. Let's talk.
Yeah, but Calvin, they don't have pizza. in
$89 for
Chicago.
Calvin, $4.99 for
Oh, they definitely do not. So I went
It's
to
a
Chicago
quiche.
last year. I went to Chicago last year for a Hospitality MD event. So I got the preview of this documentary that's coming out. And I polled my audience about, where do I go for the Chicago pizza? And I was like, remember, you're talking to a New Yorker that just moved to LA and hasn't had good pizza in months. Okay.
Right.
So give me something good. Everybody comes back with like Illuminati's, I think is what it was called.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, let me give this a shot.
Yeah,
They
but that's
bring
not
me
pizza,
out.
it's casserole.
They bring me out a casserole with a knife and fork where the sauce is on top. And I eat this. I'm like, it's like I'm at the airport. Like, what is this nonsense?
Right.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that the scene in The Simpsons where Bart's a bartender and he has to make a drink in a rush for Fat Joe, and he's like, what did I do to deserve this flat, flavorless Manhattan? I'm like, why would you guys send me to this place? I thought you liked me.
Mike McManus' Illuminati's is good, which basically just shows you how much to not trust Mike McManus' judgment.
Listen, I happen to like deep dish pizza, but it's not what you're looking for when you want pizza, Calvin.
Yeah, it just honestly, it wasn't the deep dish part of it. It didn't taste good, and
Right.
I realized that they sent me to the Sbarro of Chicago. Because when I linked up with Kyle, he said, "No, you got they make a flat pizza." He's like, they're like, you got to go to these local bars and they make good pizza. They're like, any local person in Chicago is not going to order that. if they're
Right.
ordering pizza. I'm like, so I was misled. So
Or
I
cats
need to
want a
do
hot
over.
dog.
Wow, that's very traumatizing. How long
I
did
need
it
to
take
do
for you to
over.
work that through?
A couple of drinks.
Good answer. Good
Calvin,
answer.
Daniel has a good question for you though. Are you an Xbox guy or a PlayStation guy? This will honestly determine if we can stay friends or not.
I am a PlayStation guy.
I'm
we
in
can
a
stay- we can
Atari
stay
2600 guy, although my parents forced me to be an Intellivision guy. That made me very sad.
And now you're here on us with us on Friday nights. Man, you
That's-
really career, just great life decisions.
You're making some poor ones. You're still sticking with us after this week.
I'm sticking through. Listen, guys, I can't have so many good things going on in my life. I need to keep some kind of destruction and classlessness in my life. Hence why I keep you guys around. Hence why I keep all my people around. I have to have something to balance out the good.
That's true. That's true. Like Craig and I are like the sweet to your acid, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Oh no, I 100% agree. I am the car battery acid of this relationship.
He is very toxic. If you've ever hung out with him, you know.
Oh God!
You would know
Too
just
much.
how bad of a person I actually am.
Too much.
But yeah, so Calvin, really, what is the one thing you
The meaning
miss?
of life.
No, he moved to California. He doesn't understand that. What is the one thing, the single one thing you miss about New York now living in California?
Shoveling snow.
I definitely don't miss that. You know what? The single one thing that I miss about New York, it's
The Yankees.
easier to get around.
Yeah.
I think that for me is the biggest detriment to LA is that I'm a spoiled New Yorker and I can get anywhere in a matter of minutes. Whether it's a subway, walking, whatever.
And for $2.75.
Now wait a minute. Glenn's always saying it takes forever to get from point A to point B, let alone a little bit further down.
That's because I'm driving on the highways. I'm not on the subway.
Glenn, driving on the highway in New York is a very.
However, Calvin has been talking about my relatives. Here's his interpretation. Glenn's ancestors making plans to build everything in Paris.
Oh my God, that's too funny, Calvin. You got to send that to me.
You got it.
So because I remember when Calvin was again, he was doing his original podcast I was editing that is no longer available, unfortunately, but I understand why.
What do you mean no longer available?
Calvin made a good career
turned it into the first NFT podcast or something like that now.
I should have did that. No, I was speaking my mind a bit too much.
Yeah.
So he was talking shit the entire time too about him moving to California, about with his friends. Oh, I'm going to California. You guys are going to be so jealous. I'm going to make all you guys jealous. And then every time I talk to Calvin about California, he's like, oh man, I want to go back except for the freaking weather. Everything but the weather is missed. So joke's on you, bud.
That is 100% accurate, but all I came for was the weather.
Traitor.
I'm torn. I mean, it's like 80 degrees today.
Craig is born and bred, loves California. What are the top few things that annoy the piss out of you, Calvin,
about Craig?
California?
Oh, it's too damn expensive. It's too damn expensive.
Traffic.
Yeah, I mean, traffic. You have to drive everywhere. Everything's a 40-minute drive. I mean, we were taking my mother-in-law out for her birthday. 6-mile drive took an hour and a half.
Oh God!
Wow. I mean, you can do that here too.
Santa Monica.
That sounds like the Garden State Parkway too.
We were going to Beverly Hills.
From where?
From basically the airport. I live right by the
6
airport.
miles
Oh
away
my
from
God!
Beverly
That took about an hour and a half.
But you guys made that. Here's the thing, and this is what I always say about California. But now I've been out there a couple of times. You say that like it's this atrocity. You can literally sit on the Garden State Parkway from exit 142 to exit 135 for an hour and a half and go absolutely nowhere. That's about 6 miles. Glenn, it's taking you 3 hours to get home from Midtown. You only live about 26 miles away.
No, it's like 50. It's like 52 or something.
Fine, whatever. But it still takes you 3 hours. And on top of that, we actually have a public transportation system. Okay, we have trains and buses and subways and boats and helicopters. All these various transportation options are that don't have people on the road. So imagine if we
travel
didn't.
to New York by hoverboard myself.
So imagine if we didn't have the robust transit system that we do have, because we have trains that come from 3, 4, 5 hours away from 3 different states. We have buses that come from Philadelphia deep into Pennsylvania, all these different places. And so imagine if you didn't have that, like California doesn't. Imagine our traffic then.
But here's the thing. Here's what I think the difference is you know when that's going to happen in the tri-state area. In New York, it's rush hour. California is LA is all day. Doesn't matter what time you leave.
But again, but take away our transportation system, and you're expanding that rush hour from 5 to 8 to probably 3 to 10.
Because of COVID, that's why it was taking me 3 hours to get back and forth. However, it's gotten much better now. It only took me 2.5 hours to get home the other day from the city.
So Suzanne actually asked a funny question: who the hell is taking a helicopter to work? It's funny you asked that, Suzanne.
Apparently, Dave.
Not Dave, but I actually, when I used to drive,
he's a GM now.
I know.
I'm having the
contract.
My maintenance is building the helipad on the roof as we speak. But there was actually, when I used to drive to Jersey City to get the PATH train, there's a heliport right there under the Pulaski Skyway, which none of you guys even know what I'm talking about.
I know the Pulaski Skyway. That's in Jersey.
It is.
I know it, and like 2 levels now or something like that.
No, they redid it because it was about to fall apart. Literally, it was like condemned, and they had to close it like the next.
Pulaski,
day.
by the way, a World War II general.
So anyway, point being, there's a helicopter port right there, and every morning I would see the helicopter take off and fly to downtown, and bring some probably Jamie Dimon, for all I know, to downtown. And then it would come back at the same time, around 5 o'clock, it would be coming back. So yes, someone did take the helicopter to and from Jersey City each day. Stephanie says, what about the beaches, the people in wine country in Cali? Beaches, you got that. Although, listen, my favorite beach is still Atlantic City because I can walk right across the boardwalk and go gamble.
Plus, Dave has a great collection of hypodermic needles, and he can really add to it.
Exactly.
I love the beaches. I'm about
the best coastline in
minutes. Yeah, I'm about 5 minutes from the beach. I can ride.
Yeah, all those the beautiful view of the thousands of tanker ships right off the coast. It must be a great.
That's only in Long Beach too.
Yeah, that's like further south from where I am.
Beach south, and
I love the beach.
Santa Barbara and above, you don't have that.
Yeah, no, I love that part of it. I bought a bike right when I moved because I got here basically right before the summertime. I'm up and down the beach. I'll ride from here down to like Manhattan Beach. And back. Love it. It's
well, that's because
really can't beat that.
The LAX area is actually a much better area to get to the beach than the LA itself. It's much easier. It's right there.
Yeah, just right there.
The drive to Santa Monica, Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach from LAX is what, 15 minutes?
That whole part of the city, like that's what people think all LA is like.
Yeah, right. LA is 40 minutes away from there. It's
right, exactly.
Much further in.
Exactly. But I do have a funny driving story.
The city of Los Angeles is within the county.
I have a funny driving story. And Craig, I don't think you heard this one yet. I'm not sure how many of you I told, but this is on the way to Click, right? So I was trying to leave. I was trying to leave around 4 p.m. to get to the reception, which started at 6. Things happened. I didn't get to leave until 5. So I knew I was going to hit traffic, right? Yeah. Get on the highway. GPS tells me, get off the highway, go local for a while to beat some traffic. So that's what I do. I'm a New Yorker. I don't know where I'm going. I get off the exit. Right? I'm going down the ramp. As I get off the ramp, this thing is getting more and more sketchy. Right across the street, there's like a busted up RV, bunch of tents with homeless people, broken glass everywhere, graffiti. And I'm like, whoa, this is getting a little sketchy. Right now, I make a left. I'm on the underpass now from the highway. It's all dark, and I get stuck at the light. And this is the kind of neighborhood where you lock your doors and you start looking at all your mirrors and just constantly checking, because if anybody comes up on this car, I'm swerving, I'm hitting. I'm not stopping for anything. Then GPS says, "Oh, make a right." So I make a right by the train tracks. Gross, glass everywhere, all of this stuff, and I'm like, "Where the hell am I?" So I scroll out on the map. I'm in Compton.
You're going to say my backyard. Thank God it wasn't.
I'm in Compton. I'm like, okay, so I'm in a freaking Ice Cube video. I was like, I didn't stop. I didn't stop until I got back to the highway. Stop signs was like a rolling stop, real quick. Nobody coming. Boom, let's go. I was just gassing it until I got back on the highway. Yeah, it was an experience.
I had GPS do that with me, and I was driving a convertible at the time, and I ended up at the train yards in East LA. And it's like, okay, I can't get back on the freeway fast enough before somebody puts a knife through the top of this car. It's like, no.
That's how I felt. Yeah. That's how I felt at the mall today, except I felt threatened by a bunch of old guys in couches waiting for their wives to return.
Wait a minute. Did I just hear you were in a mall?
All right, so here's what happened. Like seriously, it was not my fault. But
hashtag Glenn the Mall Rat?
Dude, seriously. I mean, I'd love going to the mall in the 80s because that's what we all did and that sort of thing. But I went today and it was like the saddest, most depressing thing ever. I thought I was going to buy some new stage shoes and stuff like that. That didn't work out. I needed a couple of belts. I picked those up at the Macy's. But I was like walking around the mall real quick to go check it all out. And it was just like the saddest, most depressing place that I have been in such a long time. It was horrific.
Sounds like this show.
What's that?
Sounds like this show.
It does. All right. We've been on air over an hour. So
wait a minute. No, because I just want to show you something. Calvin is not the only one who can make a meme on short notice. So in honor of his wonderful story, and I had to put this together really crudely because I got no time, but in honor of his story. Calvin, rolling down the street, hanging out in Compton. Check him out on a screen near you.
Oh, God, that's funny.
That's hysterical. That was a great movie.
That was a good movie.
Doreen says, have a great day and don't get fooled today. You guys, everybody out there was fooled, not because of my initial joke at the top, because you wasted a whole hour of your life watching this nonsense. April's fool to everybody every Friday.
But listen, you all have stuck with us this long, so at least you get what you deserve here. That's right. It's time for the Plug-a-Palooza. Calvin, give the SCR Hotel memes. What have you got plugged?
You can find me on Instagram.
Shouldn't it be the co-star of Hotel Memes at this point?
Co-star?
Oh, yeah, because STR was bought by co-star. Hold on. This is the reaction to Dave's jokes.
Hey, you got that right twice, Glenn.
Yeah, Mike says, hey, thanks for the laughs, except for that last one. I'm making my Friday.
Yes.
Come back on.
This was a lot of fun. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Ref Problems if you like to laugh. Follow me on LinkedIn, where I'm a little more serious. My career development page is called the G Spot. It's on Instagram if you can find it.
Boom. And if you don't like to laugh, follow Dave. Dave, what have you got to plug?
That's hilarious. So intern Lisa just sent an awesome text.
Oh, yeah?
And actually, I've heard this before, believe it or not. Not this character, but she goes, my daughter just asked if I was Mysterio from Spider-Man because she's watching the show as I walk by. But it's funny.
Don't worry, you are not Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, but it's funny. I actually, for some reason, I don't see it, but for some reason, I actually get that a lot.
But if we put a fishbowl over your head, we might believe that.
Well, Calvin, get working on it. Put a fishbowl over my head, and let's compare on next week's show if I look like Mysterio. But I don't see it. I don't know if anybody else really does, but I've actually heard this comparison a lot over the years.
It's not the worst comparison I've ever seen, to be fair. Well,
yeah, but I mean, I'm kind of like the broken down, like I'm like the van you described before in your trip through Compton. That's me compared to Jake Gyllenhaal. So I'm that level of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Can I tell y'all a quick Jake Gyllenhaal story?
Yeah. We've always got time for one of those.
So my wife used to work in the city, not too far from the theater district, and he was doing some show over there, right? So she's leaving work, and this is one of her celebrity crushes. Okay, so she's leaving work, and she's like trying to bypass the line and everything. Somehow finds herself behind the velvet rope where he's coming out after one of the shows. Right. So she looks up, and all of a sudden there's like this 7-foot security guard in front of her, and she
Right.
stops, and the guy goes, you can't be here. What are you doing here? And she was just trying to dodge everything. He literally comes out, bumps into her. She looks up at him, then looks at this thing on the wall, and she's like dumbfounded. She's like, wait, that's you. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, this is the kind of shit that could only happen to women. Okay, because the security just let her go, and then she goes to catch her train at Grand Central. Imagine that had been me, and that had been Scarlett Johansson that I happened to bump into. I'd still be in jail.
Yeah. Along with Glenn and me and General Manager David.
Right. No, just Dave today.
No, you are GM Dave now.
Dave, what have you got to plug, Mr. Big Shot GM?
I'm gonna plug your shirt right there for the good folks over at Hospitality MD, Kyle and Greg and team, who have put together an amazing documentary on one of their hotels that's really beloved in her. Kyle actually works at now, by the way. A little fun fact for you on that.
It's actually they started in 2020 documenting the story behind the #1 DoubleTree by Hilton, which is in Reading, Pennsylvania.
And so thanks for just hijacking my plug, though.
But I'm not hijacking it. I'm adding color commentary to it because you're floundering.
So anyway, so it's coming out soon. I know, Calvin, you've already seen it. I'm going to be watching it probably over the weekend. And it's coming out soon. So make sure you guys look out for those posts on our profiles, because you're going to also get a special rate for that, for knowing us. So, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. So it's on a website I forget the name of the website. They posted it during the Click shows. We're going to be posting it as well, but it's going to be hosted through the website. You can purchase it right there through the website. Again, it's not expensive. It's going to be nice and cheap for you guys to watch. I think it'll be really informative for everybody out there to see how this hotel made themselves the top hotel in the brand. And it's probably, it's going to be very educational and a lot of takeaways for people to grow themselves and their careers.
Whether you work in hotels or not. Good quality content, unlike this show.
Just very unlike this show.
Excellent. Craig, listen, I know you don't have a date yet for Click 6 yet, do you? Because March 10th, 2022 is probably one of the best days of my entire life, because that was Click 5. I mean, it goes Click 5, the birth of my kids, Click 4, getting married,
Disneyland on the 11th.
All right, so that's before.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, we don't have a date yet. We're still working on that. But what we do have right now is a lot of great content that we've dropped this week on Click Connect, our interview show. We had Vinay Patel on Tuesday. We had Ryan Huntsman from Chicago Titles National Commercial Services Group on Thursday, talking about different policies and how to get your deals closed on time. And next week, we've got 2 more industry leaders, and it's going to be great. So right now, it's all about the show, and Glenn and I going on the road and selling something for somebody.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome. Be sure to check out No Vacancy Live Monday through Thursdays at noon. This clusterfuck every Friday at 5 Eastern time. Check out the Hotel Design Podcast. We got another new episode coming out next week with Therese Vasilius.
When next week?
Next Friday. Next week with Therese Vasilius. That's going to be a good one. We talk all about redesigning Arizona Biltmore Hotel, Cosmopolitan, and some other cool properties. I'm going to be relaunching the Hotel Tech Podcast in May. Also, find me on the road. We got the No Vacancy Studio at AHOA, April 11th through 14th. I'll be at Choice Hotels in May. I'll be at Skal in May. I'll be at IHG in May. I'll be at HSMAI in Minneapolis doing a speaking gig in May. Lots of good stuff going on in May. See you all soon. You guys got anything else to say? Should we get out of here?
May we?
May. Yeah, may the force be with you. All right, everybody. See you all next week if they invite us back to the internet. And Dave,
YouTube be very happy to kick you off the internet, Glenn, at this point.
Yeah.
Aloha.
Hasta luego. We got to end this shit.
Okay, don't talk over the fucking